all that you got to move out of the hood is cap as well.
Yeah,
right?
I'm gonna respond to that, man. So responding to that, I was looking at a video with Gilly, and he was saying, he was like, I thought he said exactly what GC said. He said, I thought all of that moving out of the hood shit was cap too, right? Until he said, until I really actually made some money. He's like, until I actually got rich. And he was like, people that used to look at me, start looking at me different. You know what I mean? Like, he's like, look, man, he's like, I felt in danger in places I never felt in danger before because I really was getting to it. And he was like, so it's a whole different, he was like, if you don't feel like you got to move, then you don't have enough money. And that's really what it is. Because if you getting enough money where you can live anywhere in the world and people know you getting that type of money, you just become a victim, basically. Like, look at where Dolph got killed. Dolph got killed in his neighborhood buying cookies for his mom. You know what I mean? Like,
but the thing is, though, I get that, but it's context.
You see what I'm saying? But what I'm saying, but the thing is, the people that you think love you, if they hungry enough, they will eat you.
No, I agree with that too.
So but you can't just
again, there's context to that too, though. He's around hungry folks driving Ferraris and wearing $1 million.
Hey, listen, I'm just
right? So again, I'm not victim blaming either, because he should be able to do that, right? And like someone said, that is wishful thinking. So I get it. It is wishful thinking.
But if we don't have wishful thinking, how do we ever move towards a target?
And that's my point, Kamar. So it's like you got to have that target to move towards, because all of it's a mentality. All of this is a mentality. The dude that bodied the brother from New York, what's the young man's name that got murdered in Hollywood as well? Pop Smoke, right?
Yeah.
They saw him online, robbed him for a watch that was worth like 200,000. And by the time they caught him up and all that, and the story came out, he sold it for $2,000. He didn't even know he was stealing. He sold it for $2,000. So these dudes out here even at break. Like, but
he also dropped his location, or his address got shown.
No, I understood. But what I'm saying is, like, yo, $2,000. But now they got him for a body. Like, it's the mentality is insane. So I'm talking about like the mental health. This is a real.
This is definitely This is a mental health issue.
My whole
idea, a community mental health issue, though. It's not like an individual mental health issue. It's a community mental health issue that grows out of an individual mental health issue.
But the thing is, though, unless you have people that are willing to do work within these spaces, nothing ever changes.
I'm not going nowhere, bro.
If once you get enough,
I'm goose to the ground.
No, I'm saying, but once you get enough, you just run. That creates a whole other problem.
But my thing is, so you gotta weigh your safety and your family's safety against the needs of the community, right? Because if you become like chum in that thing, you're still not gonna get nothing done because everybody looking at you like a meal.
But there's levels to hood too, though. Like, so when we say it's not like, we know there's levels to this, though. There's
where Gilly grew up.
There's a different, yeah, but that ain't like growing up in the projects. It's a difference. It's a big difference.
He ain't grew up far from. He grew up right around the corner from the projects.
Big difference, bro. Like growing up in Raymond Rose and growing up. I'm just saying, it's a difference.
I grew up a block and a half from Raymond Rose and projects. The school I went to was attached to the.
I know you grew up. I'm just saying
two Raymond Rose and projects.
Oh, there's levels. That's all I'm saying, right?
Let me jump in for a minute. Right. So I wanted to go back to the whole move out the hood is cap. On some respect, it is cap, because we know what the cycle is going to be, right? Keep the property levels down, encourage crime, get the black folks fighting, the brown folks fighting, make it cheap for white folks. We know that pattern. It happens all the time. You can see it now. But there's also another angle, another side to that, right? You've basically clustered black folks, brown folks who have been
piled them on top of each other like
right. And you can see that with redlining, right? But they've been suffering from traumatic experiences for the last 400 years. Never got any counseling. Shit, counseling wasn't even a thing until like the last 20 years. Mainstream, that is, right? So how does that work if you say, I can do something better, I can come out better? Kenny Gamble moved out the hood and came back. Sometimes you do need a break from the trauma to be able to see
to see it clearly.
Right, to see the forest from the hills. I think that's important for a lot of
Yo,
us.
that's why I had to get away. I had to go so I can get back. You know what I mean? Like
Kenny Gamble, and shout out to my brother Byron, who has been hammering this in my head for years.
Yep. Move close to your friends.
Yeah, Kenny Gamble had it right though. He created his own hood. Right, he went somewhere where there's nothing and created his own neighborhood.
And to be fair, right, to throw Kenny Gamble, I think we have to also look at the religious aspect of how they run community also.
Well, because that's the way to get black people to move in mass. You got to attach some semblance of religion to it, right?
Right. You have to.
That's the way you get them to move in mass. So I understand that. But what I'm saying is you create your own neighborhood. Like that's still possible today, right? You find like-minded people. It is. I mean, if you have the resources, but that gets into a deeper conversation.